Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Ali Afzal and my registration number is 10NTU6009. The presentation about which I am going to present towards my listeners is about surgical gowns and drapes. Let's move to it. Among healthcare professions today, there is increasing concern over exposure to and transference of various microorganisms that are commonly carried through bodily fluids. Protective apparel can play an important role in minimizing disease transmission in the operating theatre. Surgical apparel is a medical device which is intended to be worn by operating room personnel during surgical procedures to protect both the surgical patients and operating room personnel from transfer of microorganisms, body fluids, and particulate materials. It can reduce the transfer of microorganisms by creating a physical barrier between the infection source and a healthy individual. But the question here arises is what the microorganisms are. Microorganism is an organism that is so small that it is microscopic or is invisible to the naked eye. A living thing that has or can develop the ability to act or function independently. Now the types of microorganisms. Types of microorganisms are bacteria, fungi, mildew, mold, yeast, viruses, etc. A variety of microorganisms have been found in healthcare settings. The majority of these are bacteria, but virus and some fungi are also of interest. Microorganisms in general are very small. Bacteria is typically smaller than the fungi and are about 1 to 5 micrometer long and completely invisible to naked eye. Viruses are smaller in size, but bacteria, the reported size of the HIV virus is approximately 30 nanometers. The shape of microorganism can also vary, and this will influence the ability to move through a fabric structure. Now, the question arises here that what it is so necessary? Why it is so necessary? According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in 1999 edition, nearly 2 million patients in the US get an infection as a result of receiving healthcare in a hospital. Also, approximately 5 lakh surgical site infections occur annually in the United States, according to Wong in 1999 report, which is according to the report of Wong in 1999. By reporting of Amroy and Vines in 1993, infection causes 9027 deaths and contribute an additional 58,092 deaths each year. In accordance to all these trends, multiple strategies have been recommended to reduce the incidence of surgical site infections, including the use of gowns and drapes to create a sterile field during the invasive procedure. Hence, gowns have been evaluated as a means to reduce patient-to-patient transmission of resistant pathogens. Now, performance requirements of surgical gowns are protection against microorganism transmission, comfortable, freedom of movement, flexibility, durability, frame resistance. Now, modes of microbial attacks. There are 3 primary routes of contact between people in healthcare settings and microorganisms. Contact, first one is contact, direct or indirect, anyone, respiratory droplets, airborne droplets, nuclei. Contact transmission is considered the most important, and direct contact occurs when microorganisms are transferred directly from one person to another. Respiratory droplets are generated through cough, sneezes, or talking that are then propelled a short distance and deposited on another person. For both of these transfer mechanisms, direct contact or droplet, using appropriate protective apparel, it is possible to create a barrier to eliminate or reduce this contact, and therefore prevent the transfer of microorganisms between patients and healthcare workers. Now, here we move to bacterial and liquid transmission through fabrics. Fabrics are 3-dimensional entities with void and non-void areas. The physical and chemical properties of fabric, the shape and surface characteristics of the bacteria, and the characteristics of carriers contribute to control the movement of microorganisms through fabric structures. Bacteria are not thought to move from one location to another independently. Rather, they are transported by some other objects such as dust, lint, skin particles, or liquids. In medical procedures, fluids such as blood, perspiration, alcohol are commonly present in the environment, and they can act as carriers transporting the bacteria through the fabric. Particles such as shedding skin cells, lint and dust, as well as respiratory droplets produced by cough, sneezes or talking are also likely carrier of bacterial particles. Liquids and bacteria can be drawn through by capillary action, enhanced by wicking. The yarns and fibers typically used in fabric construction are usually cylindrical and surrounded with narrow spaces, also called as interspaces, forming capillaries. The pressure drop across the curved surface is responsible for the rise or depression of liquid in a capillary. Now, capillary action. The factors that play an important role in governing capillary absorption are characteristics of the fluid, which is of surface tension, viscosity and density. Also, the second one is the nature of the surface, which may be surface energy and surface morphology. Third one is interaction of the fluid with the surface, interfacial tension and contact angle. Four characteristics, which are size, volume, geometry and orientation. It is the combination of these factors that determines the movement of a liquid through the fabric. The relationship between the surface tension of the fluid and the surface energy of the material governs adsorption, which is the first step in the transmission process. The relationship is measured as surface contact. The contact angle is controlled by difference between the surface tension of the liquid and the surface energy of the fabric. The greater this difference, the less likely adsorption will occur. Control on adsorption process. Liquids typically found in operating rooms have a wide range of surface tensions. Water and saline solutions have relatively high surface tension in range of 72 times per centimeter. Blood is in the medium range of 42 times per centimeter, and isopropyl alcohol has a low surface tension of 22 times per centimeter. Therefore, fabrics used as barriers in healthcare facilities must be able to repel liquids of low surface tension than those used in other environments where water repellency is of primary concern. The fabric requirements for surgical gowns, which are listed here. First one is low linting, then no padding, abrasion resistance to liquid, strike through, high air porosity, sufficient strength, shear resistance, lightweight, cloth like aesthetic properties, flexible enough to allow for the necessary movement of the body part to be protected. Now, fabrics for gowns and drapes. Surgical gowns and drapes found in the marketplace today are produced from a variety of fabrics and a wide range of fibers, which are one method and commonly used to classify these products is disposable and reusable gowns. Both disposable, single-use and reusable surgical gowns are currently used for surgical wear. However, disposables comprise the majority of the market. Disposable products are typically made of non-woven fabrics and are designed to be discarded after single use. Now comes to fabric characteristics of our surgical gowns. Regardless of whether the product is classified as disposable or reusable or produced from non-woven or woven fabrics, there are specific fabric characteristics that have been demonstrated to influence the very effectiveness of the product. These include repellency, pore size, thread count, thickness, hydrostatic resistance. The very effectiveness of the surgical gowns increases as the velocity of the fabric increases. The fabric must be repellent not only to water and saline but also to low surface energy liquids such as blood and alcohol. To ensure better effectiveness, the pore size of the fabric must be smaller than that of the bacteria or its carrier.